Any updated team news?
No, we'll have a check on Emerson. He felt his groin in the game last night, so we'll have a check on him. We'll need to see how Nathan Agard is. Maxi Corney's not available. I think that would be about sum it up. I think at the moment, yeah.
Okay, so obviously waiting on Emerson, and obviously the keeper changes on European nights. But other than that, would you field a pretty similar team? Do you think?
I don't know if I'm going to field a similar team, but you asked me the injuries, and that's the ones. That's the ones who are thinking that's an update on where we are with after last night.
You do have obviously some senior players who didn't play many minutes or no minutes at all last night, so that's a consideration as well, of course.
Yeah, it is, but we always want to win every game we go into, and we'll try and do the same again. We've done it over the last few years. We have changed sometimes in European games, maybe more so in the group stages than we do necessarily in the sort of knockout stages. But obviously we've got a big game to keep in mind next Thursday as well, so we have to have that in the back of our mind as well.
Just before we move on, if you don't mind, just a quick look back at last night. I know a lot's been said already, but now the dust is settled, even if the outcome wasn't correct or was correct, and that's arguable, I'm sure they would disagree with you, but the whole process seemed to be quite messy for the late shout, the penalty shout.
Well, I think if you want to give the European games any real positivity, I'd say they normally make the VAR decisions very quickly. I think much quicker than we have in the Premier League, really. And for last night's to be so long was probably strange by their standards. But look, I said everything I had to say about it. It's now gone. We've moved on already. You know, where obviously we've got a game against Burnley in the Premier League to look forward to on Sunday, and then we'll focus back again on Freiburg for next Thursday.
Games obviously still coming thick and fast. The fact that you're at home now for the next 3 games that's obviously something that is good. Makes it a little bit easier, I guess.
I believe so. I think we're forming the main at home's been okay. So let's hope that we can keep it up now to the end of the season. It'll be really important that we look to try and win our home games, especially if we're going to try and hang in with the teams in the European places if we can. So it starts with Burnley, and we'll do everything we can to get a result.
Obviously, Kelvin came on right at the very end last night. A mixed start to his career at West Ham, but he was doing all right when he got the second yellow, and then I think he did all right against Everton.
Yeah.
Can you see the improvement in him since he arrived?
Well, he didn't necessarily need to be improved. He just needed to get game time, and he's still going for that. And I think sometimes that takes a bit of time. You look at any of the players when they come back from pre-season, they take a bit of time to get their game practice in, and they feel much better. Calvin, I'm sure, will improve the more game time he gets. I think he's shown that at the moment. The last couple of games he's had small pieces of it, but I think he's done well. And yeah, you're right. I think the sending off just sort of set it back a little bit when he was just beginning to get up and running again.
Are you helping him? Can you see ways that you're helping him, and your coaching and your team's coaching is helping him?
Well, I don't want to take any credit because he works for the greatest manager in the world. So he's I'm sure great coaching from them. All we can do is hopefully bring him along. We want him to get back to playing at the levels everybody's seen him play for England in recent seasons. And look, I can't tell you exactly how he's been over the time because I've not had the chance to work with him. But he's a great boy to work with. I think he's hoping to try and make it better, and he's looking to do things to try and get himself back into the standard he set when he was playing for Leeds United.
Listen, I'm not just out of infant school, so forgive this question, but it's the oldest current Premier League manager versus the youngest current Premier League manager on Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not finding it easy, him or his team, in the first season in the Premier League. Do you have sympathy for him?
Well, I had sympathy for a lot of managers because the managers need to be given an opportunity and time to do the job. I think Vinny's done a brilliant job last year. I think he showed exactly what he's capable of. He's worked again under Pep, and he's gone to Anderlecht and learned a lot of his trade from there as well. So I generally think that he's done a really good job. I think what he's now realising is the levels as you step up. But hey, he's maybe not got all the same players which maybe the other clubs would have. But I think he's done a really good job with what he's got.
I mean, people who aren't coaches don't notice the finer details, including me, say that he's not really changed his philosophy coming from the Championship to the Premier League? I'm sure you'll say in some ways that he has, but are you surprised he hasn't changed even more?
I think managers are entitled to work the way they see best for them and for their club. I always see good coaching of finding a way to win the games. I think that's the way I look at it, maybe from a different perspective. But I'm sure that Vinny will keep it going. His team's played very well and have played very well in many games this season. We narrowly got a result at the end of the game at Turf Moor up there, so we'll need to play really well at home to get the 3 points.
2 wins on the bounce in the Premier League, scored 7 goals. Good opportunity to keep that run going.
Yeah, we're on off the back of a couple of good wins, so we want to keep it going. If we can keep scoring the goals as well, that will give us every chance of winning the games.
Thanks.
Jake?
Hi. You said earlier this week that you think the team is almost back to where you would like it to be. In your mind, what does that actually look like as far as maybe on the pitch goes, or for people that don't understand that?
Well, I think we look much more threatening up front at the moment than we had done for a month or so. I think we look more liable to be creative, to make chances, which we've proved against Brentford and we proved against Everton as well. And actually, even in our European game, we made quite a few chances. We didn't take them. That's a different part of the story. But I think we'd a couple of weeks where we've been much more creative, much more aggressive in our play, playing to try and hurt the opponents rather than playing to keep the ball and trying to keep possession. So, from my point of view, we've done a lot of good things, and I think probably I was alluding to as well, getting Paqueta back, getting Kudos back probably to the levels he was at a wee bit earlier on. And if Jared can keep his shooting boots on between now and the end of the season, it will give us every chance.
Gary mentioned the 2 wins that you've just had in the Premier League. Winless run before that, but suddenly things changed and turned around very quickly.
Well, from the Premier League, I think you would know better than MD, but I think in the last 16 games we are 5th in the Premier League. So if that's correct, that would say that we've actually been doing quite well.
And really, just talking about Burnley then, you sort of touched it there, but are you maybe surprised considering how strong they were last year, how much they struggled this year?
I think it can happen. I think quite often we have now seen the 3 promoted teams from the Championship stay up. I think we had it maybe just a year before, which doesn't happen very often in the Premier League. You tend to find that some of the clubs coming up find it hard to catch up, or maybe don't have the finances to reach what maybe many of the more sort of solidified Premier League teams over the years. But I do think that Burnley had a great season. I think they're playing similar football what they played before. Probably just the level of the opposition is the harder part for them to come to terms with.
Finally, Lauren.
Hi there.
Less time between fixtures now, of course, European games. Do you prefer a busier schedule? I think you've said before due to injuries and stuff.
I think at the start of the season when it was busy, I was saying, my goodness, when are we ever going to get any break? But I have to say now, we've just gone through a period where it's been pretty comfortable from probably around about the start of January. I'm not saying comfortable, but not quite as many games, and it's not suited as quite as much. But maybe the injuries we've had over that period played a part in that. So no, there's part of me quite enjoying the regular games, and keeps you busy, keeps us going. We have to keep focused. We don't have much training time when it's like this. It just means that we're sort of playing, recovering, getting the players ready for the next game, and the same thing again, really. So yeah, I think we've quite enjoyed this over the last few years.
I can finish off as well by asking about kind of general views on football. There's some talk this week about the idea of blue cards, which I know you weren't particularly fond of being
No.
scrapped, but sin bin still being a possibility. I wonder what your thoughts were on that.
I think we've made an awful lot of changes to football in recent years, and I think everybody's still adapting and everybody's still trying to get used to the, for example, VAR. We're all trying to see, when is it correct, what decisions is it going to interfere in, what's it not. And I think if we're bringing in any more rules at the moment, it might complicate it even more. But I think it's always an evolving game, football. I don't think it's ever standing still. We're always looking to bring it on, move it on. And if MD thinks it's the best idea, then we'll certainly look at it. For me at the moment, I wouldn't see it as being a good idea.